Hey, welcome to the Drayway. I'm Drayton Nay. I'm your host. Yes, it is another week of war. Rockets being shot back and forth. But of course, on Sunday, peace is made so that the markets don't get upset. So yeah, it's just rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. And we're going to be talking about that at the very end. But we have something else to tackle that we need to discuss. So just know on this show, you're going to get the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help me. So let's get started, everybody. Let's go. Welcome to the Drayway. Besides talking about war, there's other things going on that we need to discuss. And from time to time, as you know, because I've been in real estate so very long, since the early 80s, over 40 some years now, I got to talk about what's going on in the marketplace because so many people ask me questions on a daily basis. What's going to happen? What's going on? Why can't I sell my house? And that's going on for a lot of people right now. The market is in extremely poor condition, and it is because prices are too high. It's very simple. Prices are not real. 1,200 square foot homes for $450,000, $500,000 in 99% of areas makes no sense. I can see if you're in, around New York City, around LA, there's a few cities that, warrant that kind of money. But outside of that, it's insane. And when I walk into some of these homes now, it cracks me up because I walk in, I go, so this is $500,000, knowing full well that I could build it for $225,000. I'm like, why would anyone pay $500,000 for this when you can literally build this for $225,000? It just doesn't make sense. And then some of the prices that these new homes are selling for doesn't make sense. And the reason we've seen the price fall over the last year is because people are starting to wake up to the fact that you're not getting value for the price. Some of these new homes are made like garbage. I mean, they don't pass inspection. The trusses aren't put up right. I mean, there's just gaps everywhere. The houses are made extremely poorly. If you think these houses are going to last 40, 50, 60 years, you got another thing coming. A lot of these houses are built to last about 20, 25 years. And that's what they look like. So what's the real estate market going to be like 10, 20 years from now? I can't even imagine because so many homes are going to be in such ill repair. A weight is going to, because when you have gaps and you don't build things correctly, over time, weight moves. Weight causes shifting and moving. And I can only, try to begin to think about what some of these houses are going to look like. But just so you know what's happening in the marketplace here in Vegas, Las Vegas, a lot of houses are being pulled off the market, and it's not even the 4th of July yet. But after the 4th of July, it's over with. The selling season around the country is pretty much over with exceptions of a few areas. Once you get to the 4th of July, everybody's talking about going back to school. So that's why right now, not only do you have a lot of listings, but you have tons of houses that have been delisted. The people still want to sell. See, everybody thinks that we have this. This is what, this is the bundle. This is the pile right here of houses that are available. No, there's another pile over here that couldn't sell, but they want to sell, but they can't. The only dream they have of selling their house is having interest rates go low again. And that's just not in the cards. It's not in the cards because of inflation, and it's certainly not in the cards when we're racking up the massive debt that we're racking up. We're soon to go over 40 trillion and soon to be looking at $41 trillion. And it just keeps going higher and higher and higher. And with the debt ever increasing and countries looking towards gold instead of U.S. treasuries, they're looking at gold instead. If I want to secure my money, I'll put it in gold, not in U.S. treasuries, especially when you have the U.S. government always printing money when they want to. They'll just suddenly create $1 trillion out of nowhere. And yeah, that's inflationary. And the price of gold and silver ends up going up, and that's kind of the safety hedge that countries want now. But in Vegas, houses are selling, but they're selling to the people that have money, the people that have a lot of money. Those houses are selling still. But the regular market, the market between 4 and 600,000, 3 and 600,000, is really struggling. And it's struggling for a very good reason. It's just too expensive. Houses are too expensive. I tell people all the time, if you're a young person, do you know the number of young people today that buy a house under the age of 30 compared to back 20, 30, 40 years ago? I mean, I bought my own house when I was 22. You know, that's almost unheard of today. Almost unheard of. But now I think the percentage of people under 30 that have bought a house is like 12%. So it's fallen by a huge margin compared to what it was 20, 30 years ago, where the number was 35, 40%. So yeah, we're going in the wrong direction. we're making a huge mistake somewhere along the line. And the huge mistake is those interest rates that got so low and artificially inflated prices of homes. I don't know how to tell people, but that $500,000-$600,000 home is not worth $500,000-$600,000. And for some of you that get away with selling them for $500,000-$600,000, congratulations. But prices are going to go down because your house simply isn't worth what you think it is. It isn't. It was artificially pumped up. The price was pumped by ridiculously low interest rates 4 or 5 years ago. Those rates aren't coming back. So people are not going to buy your inflated house at 6.5% interest. They're not going to do it. So you either have to lower the price or you have to pray for lower interest rates. And lower interest rates aren't coming. So you have to lower the price. Well, some people don't want to lower the price. I don't want to lower the price. I'll wait. I'm going to pull my house off the market. I'm going to wait to sell. Big mistake. Because things aren't going to get better anytime soon. It's not like more people are going to suddenly be able to afford homes. That's what people truly don't understand. We've reached the max point. We've reached the point at which husband and wife both work, both incomes are in, they may even have a side hustle, and they can still only qualify and afford this much right here. Not this much, this much. So, and next year, the year after that, they're going to be able to afford this much, not this much. So if you think in the near future, 3 years from now, 5 years from now, houses are going to go up $100,000, $200,000. No, they're not. They're not going to go up like that. The market's going to go up like that. The market has been going up like that for the last 3 years. The market has been absolutely soaring. And I've told people, don't buy a house. House prices are way too high. Put your money in the market. That's where a stock index fund, a S&P 500 stock index fund. Look at the performance of the stock index fund, S&P 500 for the past 3 years. Take a look, and you'll see what I'm talking about. But I tell young people all the time, you don't want to buy a house like right now. What you want to do is you want to rent. You want to live below your means and put as much money in the market as you can. I can tell you right now, there isn't a single person alive right now that doesn't wish they put more money in the 80s and 90s in the stock market. Not a one. Because all those people that did have no worries. And that's the same as I tell young people today. If you want to have absolutely no worries, if you want your life to be so easy once you hit 50 and above, put as much money in the stock market as you can in your 20s and early 30s. Put as much money as humanly possible. Live in that little apartment, drive that used car. Don't worry about, being fancy in your 20s and 30s. No one expects you to be, and sock as much money away into the market as you humanly possibly can. Because when you get into your 50s and 60s, that money is going to be 5-10-fold. and you will live a much easier life. That's why I tell kids all the time, hey, Mr. Nay, what's the secret to a good life? Be a good person and save your money and put it in the market. Put it in the market when you're young. And, be careful with your decisions, especially your decision on who you're going to spend the rest of your life with. That's really, really important. But in all sincerity, folks, let me tell you, the real estate market right now is in a freeze. It's in a hold. Selling houses is extremely difficult right now, especially in the Sun Belt. I know some of you are like, what is he talking about? I live in North New Jersey. Yeah, we know. North New Jersey, New York, there's certain spots, Boston area, but it's coming for you too. If you think you're never going to have a down market, you're wrong, because it happens all the time. And prices get inflated, prices get too high, and pretty soon there's just not enough people that can buy. And pretty soon those prices have to come back down to earth. What goes up always comes down. Always. Sometimes it just takes more time than others. But you can bet this market, prices are going to keep going downwards. So let me know what you think in the comments. I can't wait to see what you guys think. And let me know what interest rate. Some of you have gotten a very good interest rate. Some of you have gotten a 2-3% interest rate. Let me know if you've gotten that interest rate. Let me know also if you have bought recently, because I think the people that are going to struggle the most are the people that have bought in the last 3 years. Yeah, if you've bought in the last 3 years, yeah, your timing has not been terrific, and it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. And with insurance going higher, HOAs going higher, taxes going higher, and repair bills always around the corner, home ownership is no joke. I'm glad I'm not part of it anymore. I am so happy I am not part of it anymore. The most miserable I ever was when I was in the biggest house I ever bought, on Fancher Road in Johnstown, Ohio. I had a massive home on 5 acres, and I was miserable. And there were rooms in the house I never walked into, and it just made no sense to me. I'm like, why am I buying this big, gigantic house when I just want a couch and a big bed? That's all I ever care about. I need a couch to lay on and watch a little TV, and I need a big bed to go to bed in. That's it. Anyway, that's the Dre Way for today. Thanks for stopping by, everybody. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Come back and see me. And thanks for joining me on the Dre Way, and I'll see you next time right here on the Dre Way. Have a great day, everybody.